Hi to everyone. In this video, let us discuss chemical properties of alkali metals. Okay, we know what are alkali metals. Especially we have to focus from lithium to cesium while studying the chemical properties or whatever the physical properties of alkali metals. Okay, now let us see what are the chemical properties here. First, one thing here, the reactivity increases from lithium to cesium. We have to remember that point here, that reactivity, chemical reactivity increases from lithium to cesium. Now, first let us see which one here, reaction with water. So now here, all alkali metals decompose water and liberate which one means hydrogen gas. And here the solubility of alkali metals increases from that lithium to cesium. Even though lithium is having, that means more negative electrode potential, that is less soluble in water. And here all alkali metals by dissolving in water liberate which gas means here hydrogen gas. So this is regarding which one, reactivity with the water. Okay, then after that another one here, hydroxides and oxides. Regarding that, let us discuss here hydroxides and oxides of which one, alkali metals. Now if you come to which one first, oxides, in that three types of oxides are formed by the which one means alkali metals. What are the three type of oxides means here? First one is here M2O, known as monoxide, and second one is peroxide, formula M2O2, and third one is superoxide, formula MO2. So alkali metals form three types of oxides, monoxides and peroxides and another one dioxide, that means superoxides. MO2 is the formula for superoxide. In this some important that means some important information we have to learn here. What is that here? Lithium always forms monoxide only, because due to the smaller atomic size of lithium, it can't which one bind with which one more than two oxygens or more than two oxygens. So that's why lithium always produce which one, monoxide only. And if you come to sodium, that forms both monoxide and also peroxide. And that higher alkali metals like potassium, they majorly give which one means superoxide. So like that, lithium forms monoxide only, sodium forms monoxide and peroxide, and potassium onwards they will give all the three types of oxides, but majorly they produces superoxides. Superoxide formula is which one, MO2. Okay, now regarding these three oxides, some important questions they give in competitive exams. What are the questions? Let us see here. First, M2O means it contains which ion, they give the question. What is the ion present in monoxides? Monoxides contain O minus 2 ion, and peroxides containing O2 minus 2 ion, superoxides contain O2 minus 1 ion. Now here 8 plus 2, 10 electrons are there. Minus 2 means a gain of 2 electrons. Oxygen atomic number 8. So the number of electrons in O minus 2, which how many electrons means here, 10 electrons. And in O2 minus 2, O2 means 16, minus 2 means gain of 2 electrons. So 18 electrons are there. And here in superoxide 17 electrons are present. So if we observe here, these two are even numbers. but O2 minus 1, that means superoxide ion is having odd number of electrons. So due to this reason, among these three oxides, superoxides are paramagnetic in nature and they are exhibiting which one? Orange color. Due to the presence of unpaired electrons, superoxides are colored and they are having paramagnetic nature. This is one important thing. We have to remember the ions present in these three types of oxides. And another one here, reactivity with water also important. Now monoxide plus water, that will give which one means here? Hydroxide. And peroxide when treated with water, peroxide plus water means we get hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide. And superoxides when treated with water, what are the products here means? Hydroxide, hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. So this is also another important question for us. Monoxides will give hydroxide on hydrolysis, peroxides will give monoxide, that means hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide on hydrolysis. Superoxides will give hydroxide, hydrogen peroxide and oxygen on hydrolysis. So this is also another important question regarding which one? Oxides of alkali metals. And another important one here, potassium superoxide is used in submarines to purify the atmospheric air present in submarines. Why? Because here this KO2 react with CO2 and remove that in form of K2CO3 and plus produces oxygen gas also. So like that here superoxides are used to purify the atmospheric air, that means air present in submarines. One question they may give here, of course Na2O2 also react with CO2 and can purify the atmospheric air, but Na2O2 comparatively with prefer to Na2O2, we can give more importance to KO2. Why? They give the question. Why means KO2 react even with carbon monoxide also to purify the atmospheric air. So for that reason, in preference to Na2O2, we will prefer which one means KO2, for which one here? To purify the air present in submarines. So these are the some important things we have to remember regarding which one? Oxides. Okay, then come to hydroxides. Alkali metals form MOH type of hydroxides, and examples here LiOH, NaOH, like this. All these hydroxides are thermally stable and lithium hydroxide is having less basic nature. And another important thing here, all these are hygroscopic in nature. What is that? Means they can absorb moisture and also carbon dioxide from atmospheric air. Let us consider NaOH absorb CO2 from atmospheric air and converts that into Na2CO3. So, and these are having which nature? Means hygroscopic nature. So they absorb moisture from atmospheric air. So this is regarding which one? Hydroxides of alkali metals. Next one, halides of alkali metals. So what are the halides? Let us see here. So now alkali metals form MX type of halides. MX type of halides, examples here, lithium chloride, NaCl, KCl, or anything CSCl, etc. etc. So these are the halides. Now alkali metals react with halogens and they form MX type of halides. Now some important points we have to learn regarding which one here, halides of first A group elements. What are the important things? Let us see here. First, two things we have to learn here. What is that means? As that size of the alkali metal increases, ionic nature also increases, and these are all having ionic nature, so they are soluble in water. All these are, which one means soluble in water. And another one, they act as electrical conductors. If you consider molten solutions of all these, in case of molten solutions, conductivity is in the order of Li plus greater than Na plus greater than K plus, so on. This is the order of electrical conductivity. So electrical conductivity of alkali metal ions is in which order means in molten state, Li plus greater than Na plus greater than K plus, so on, because Li plus will move fastly. This is in which one means in molten state. But if you come to the aqueous solution state, this is reversed. That means conductivity of Li plus less than Na plus less than K plus, because in aqueous solution state, hydrated lithium plus is having larger size than that of hydrated Na plus, and so on. So these are the two important the terms we have to remember regarding which one, electrical conductivity of which one, these alkali metal ions. And another important thing here, what is that means here regarding solubility. So which is more soluble, which is less soluble in water, the questions we have to answer. Now example here, lithium fluoride. Now if you consider lithium fluoride, this is less soluble in water. So why it is less soluble in water means, here if you consider lithium and fluorine, those two are having smaller atomic size. So crystal lattice energy is, what is the formula here, proportional to 1 by R plus R minus. Crystal lattice energy is inversely proportional to radius of cation and radius of anion. As both lithium and fluoride ions are having smaller atomic size, lithium fluoride is having high crystal lattice energy. Of course, due to smaller atomic size, those heat of hydration also more. But here, lattice enthalpy dominate over which one, heat of hydration. So that's why only lithium fluoride is less soluble in water. And if you come to cesium iodide, and as cesium and iodine is having larger atomic size, it is having less lattice enthalpy. It is having less lattice enthalpy. But here, due to the larger atomic size, the heat of hydration is very less. So that's why this is also less soluble in which one means water. So this is regarding which one, solubility of these halides. And another thing here regarding structure. Now all these halides are having rock salt type structure. Rock salt structure means nothing but face centered cubic structure, except cesium chloride, cesium bromide, cesium iodide. These are having body centered cubic structure. So except chloride, bromide and iodide of cesium, remaining alkali metal halides are having face centered cubic lattice structure, but these three are having body centered cubic structure. So this is regarding which one here, highlights of alkali metals. Okay, then another one important thing also there in alkali metal halides. what is that important thing means here, if you come to the fluorides of alkali metals from lithium to cesium fluoride, delta H naught F will become less negative. Delta H naught F will become less negative. But this is truly reverse in the case of that chlorides, bromides, iodides. That means in case of chlorides, bromides, iodides, delta H naught F will become more negative from lithium to cesium. So what is this delta H naught F and what is that more negative or less negative? Let us see here. Delta H naught F means standard heat of formation. So now if you consider lithium fluoride, when this lithium fluoride is formed, let us consider delta H naught F value minus 100. Just take that is an example, not exact value. But if you come to which one here, cesium fluoride, this delta H naught F value will become less negative. Less negative, that means minus 20 kilojoules. Now here, according to thermodynamics, exothermic compounds are more stable. But if at the time of compound formation, if more energy is liberated out, that is more stable. If less energy is liberated out, that is less stable. That means here lithium fluoride is more stable, but cesium fluoride is less stable. How to remember this one means here, if you consider anything, that means now one example I will give. Okay, take this lithium fluoride only. If you consider lithium and fluorine, both are having which one means smaller atomic size. That means in between smaller atomic size elements, the bond is stronger. That means one easy formula is there here. What is that means? Smaller cation stabilizes smaller anion, larger cation stabilizes larger anion. So now here both cation and anion are smaller, so it is having more stability. But in this case cation is much larger but anion is much smaller. That means larger cation cannot exist with which one, smaller anion. For example, into a billionaire family, if one, that means which one here, one middle class, that any one bride entered into that family means she can't adjust easily, because the habits of this middle class girl different from that billionaire's family, so she can't adjust with them. That means we have to adjust with the same mindset, or we have to adjust with the same, that which one, same economic group, not higher not lower, like that here. Smaller cation stabilizes smaller anion, larger cation stabilizes larger anion. This we have to remember for all the properties of these, not only alkali metals, in any group we have to remember that thing. So that means here, as cesium fluoride is which one here, less stable as per our description, this is large, this is small, that's why only that delta H value also less negative. But if you come to remaining cases means, if you consider except fluoride, take consider which one here, lithium iodide, cesium iodide. Now see here, lithium iodide is not much stable, because lithium is smaller in size, iodine is larger in size. That means here this may take minus 10, but this will become which one, minus 200, because cesium is larger, iodine is larger. That means larger cation stabilizes larger anion. So here delta H naught F is more negative. So this is regarding which one, halides of that alkali metals. Okay, then let us see which one here, another one, carbonates. If you come to the carbonates, general formula of carbonates is M2CO3. So one easy question I give here, what is the stability order from lithium carbonate to cesium carbonate? As per our formula, larger cation stabilizes larger anion. As CO3 minus 2 is larger in size, cesium only can stabilize that compound more easily. So now what happens here? Stability increases from lithium carbonate to cesium carbonate, and that for that reason only lithium carbonate will decompose on heating to give lithium oxide and CO2, but remaining carbonates not decompose on normal heating, they decompose only on strong heating. That we have to remember. And another one here, which one? Hydrogen carbonates, MHCO3. And here also examples LiHCO3 to CSHCO3. Here also the same thing. Stability increases from lithium hydrogen carbonate to cesium hydrogen carbonate, and their solubility in water also increases. So why it is increases means due to smaller atomic size of lithium, all these lithium carbonate or lithium compounds are having covalent nature. But as the size of cation increases, ionic nature increases. As ionic nature increases, solubility in water, because polar solvent, also increases. So stability and solubility of carbonates and bicarbonates increases from lithium to cesium. And come to nitrates, and these will form MnO3 type of nitrates. And here lithium nitrate on heating produces lithium oxide, NO2 and oxygen, but remaining nitrates on heating produces nitrite and which one means oxygen gas. So this is regarding which one? Nitrates of alkali metals. And in hydrogen, that means in hydrogen carbonates, one important thing, lithium hydrogen carbonate not exist in which one? Solid state, but remaining hydrogen carbonates of alkali metals exist in solid state. This is exist in liquid state. Remaining hydrogen carbonates exist in which one? Solid state. And another thing here, when any metal carbonate treated with water and CO2, we get which one means metal hydrogen carbonate. And in reverse, when metal hydrogen carbonate is heated, that decomposes to carbonate, CO2 and water. So these are regarding which one means here, that chemical properties of alkali metals. Okay, in next class let us go for compounds of alkali metals. Okay.